What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another new project. Today I've got the TRX4 Sport Unassembled kit on the bench. This one, more of a traditional kit. No motor, no ESC, no servo, no other extra little servos, and it's the Sport, so it doesn't have the locking differentials or the 2-speed. Does come with a body and all of the scale accessories that they offer for that TRX4 Sport body as well. The TRX4 Sport in general is not a new vehicle. It's been out for quite a while. You've seen me build a couple of them on the channel already even. And this one is just an unassembled version. And when they announced this unassembled kit version, it felt like it might be the right platform and the right time to do another budget build. So Matt from the Scale Builders Guild and myself are both taking the TRX4 Sport Unassembled kit, and we're going to do another budget build with it. This is not going to be the first video. We're actually going to assemble them first. We have a few components for them already that we're going to include, and that will then become the base for our budget build. You'll be able to find more info on the actual start date in the Scale News update, or actually as well in the next monthly Mayhem series. We'll make sure and talk about it, give you guys plenty of updates. So if you follow the channel, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff, you'll definitely hear about when the next budget build is going to start. I'm not much of somebody to go over all of the box details, but it is important if you're new to the hobby or new to this TRX4 Sport to know what you're going to need to finish this truck. So like it says here on the box, it does not come with a transmitter or receiver. You will need to pick up your own radio. Of course, you can use a Traxxas radio like they show and suggest here, or there's a ton of different options from low end to high end, depending on what you want to do with this vehicle. You will need a servo for the steering. That's the only servo that you're going to need for this truck. You'll need a battery and charger of your choice. I suggest a 3S battery. 3S just gives you a little bit more power, a little bit more voltage. You can find them in all the sizes and capacities, and this truck fits them just fine. And then as far as the other electronics, you will need an ESC or an electronic speed control and a motor. Neither of those things are included. There's a ton of different options. Again, we'll be going over all of the options that we choose for this in the budget build. So you can stay tuned for that, for what we're going to use and what we may suggest. You can also see some of my other videos where motor and speed controls, things like that, are going to apply across the board. This is a very similar truck to a lot of the other ones that I work on. Metric tool set and CA glue. And then there's 3 other items that it shows on here. One is basic hand tools such as screwdrivers, needle nose pliers. Yeah, that'll get you done through most of it. Safety glasses, okay. And Lexan body paint, because this body does come clear. You will need to paint it yourself. But that's all we're going to cover about what's on the box. Now we're going to jump inside and then get to the assembly. So the first big parts bag we see on top has got all of those scale accessories for this body, as well as the bumpers and things like that. You can see this massive roof rack in there, some sand ramps, basically all of the body details that it comes with. Then we have the bag of the tires and wheels. Now I'm going to open these up. So these are the exact same wheels and tires that we've seen on all of the TRX4 Sports up to this point. But the good news is that these wheels and tires are not glued together. Now you absolutely have to glue these tires to these wheels if you're going to use these wheels. If you'd like to change wheels to a true beadlock wheel, it's really nice that they do not come glued. Next, we've got our pre-cut clear Lexan TRX4 Sport body. All of the body holes are already cut and drilled, including all of the accessory mounting holes. So if you were thinking about getting this and not putting some of those accessories on, you're going to find several holes in the body that you're going to have to deal with. But I myself, at least at the beginning, I'm going to mount everything that it came with. We're just going to see exactly how it looks. We've got a bag of battery trays, motor plates, things like that. Then we've got our transmission bag, including the plastic spur gear and then all metal internal transmission gears. All of the suspension links are already pre-built, so you don't have to thread them and match the lengths to the instructions or anything like that. Big time saver, really nice little detail. We have a bag here of a few included hex drivers, as well as a small tube of grease, standard drive shaft bag, rear axle bag, front axle bag. The shocks do come pre-built, but they are not filled with oil, so we will have to do that. This is all the plastics for the chassis, including shock towers, rock sliders, all of those little details. We've got our stamped steel frame rails. And then separate from the axle bags themselves, we actually have the ring gears and cast metal lockers. Don't know why those aren't included in each of the front and rear bags respectively, but they're separate. And the last thing in the box is the TRX4 Sport manual. Honestly, Traxxas manuals are really, really good. They're full color manuals. They're just done well. And then on the back side, we've got window masks and all of the decals for the body, as well as your body pins. So now I'm going to crack open this manual, open my laptop with the Office playing, and crank through this build.
3 hours later.
And the kit is together. Honestly, it went together faster than almost any other kit I really remember. Everything just is well done, and the instructions are clear and parts thread easily. The TRX4 Sport platform that sits underneath is, of course, just like I've worked with in the past, a great platform, nice and simple, pared down to just the basics, which is, again, really what I prefer. What really stood out to me, though, is the body and how well everything was done, and some of the additional details that I actually wasn't aware of because I didn't maybe look at it as closely as I thought I had before. But the new hard molded grille with the, clear lenses, LED ready, as well as this rear tailgate version as well with the taillights molded in and ready for LEDs there additionally. Now the adventure style rack also went together pretty well. It's not that heavy. This body in general isn't much heavier than what I would normally have felt like the Blazer or Bronco, or much lighter than the Defender. So overall, I like it, and I think that I'll probably leave most of it on there through the budget build, maybe see what else we can do to make it more personal and maybe stand out a little bit different. I'm not one to add a bunch of scales, sleeping bags, and tow ropes on things, but I think that we can find things that'll make this look appropriate. This kit came to me from Traxxas, and when they sent it, they also sent their new 400-ounce brushless waterproof servo, and I installed that in there as well. This kit does come with a metal servo horn, so that was nice. It's made for the clearances of the TRX4 Sport, which are tight up in that steering area, so sometimes you do have to look at what will actually clear and what won't. But it does come with a cast metal servo horn, so there was no digging for that. I didn't have to go grab one myself to put on that servo. With the kit and the servo, Traxxas also sent a couple of other things. First, they sent a 5,000 milliamp 3S Lipo Pack. This battery uses the TRX style battery plug with the ID type connection. To utilize this style battery with this plug to the fullest, they also sent one of their chargers, and this is what I'm going to be using it. Now, there's tons of battery options and chargers and things like that, and I've got several different brands as well. If you've been in the hobby for a longer period of time, you likely have other types of chargers with external balance boards and things like that. And that's actually what I have for everything else. But this is a very simple system. We're going to show how it works during the budget build as well, so you can look forward to that if you're looking for more information on this setup. And I will put a link in the description below to the truck, the battery, the charger, the servo, everything we're using, and then throughout the budget build there will be a huge list of all the parts that we end up using on there. I built this kit completely to the instructions. I didn't do any of the simple modifications that it can be done with no cost or anything like that. I built it 100% to the letter of the instruction manual. So that is going to be the basis of our budget build. Now, for those of you who have never seen one of the budget build series, it's not a traditional budget build, meaning do everything as cheap as possible. My version of a budget build means you just set a budget for the build and then you upgrade based on that. And the budget that I set is $50 a week. It gives us a fun path to go on, kind of changes things up, have to make decisions in a slightly different way, but we've also got some little twists and things that we're going to do on this one. So I'm really looking forward to diving into that project, and again, we'll get you guys the information of when that is actually going to start here very soon. There's a lot of work that goes in ahead of time to getting these organized, and we really want to try and do it as best we can. Make sure to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the future videos. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. If you don't like it, there's a button for that as well. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.